been revealed to me is that music is a path, if not the path, to self-expression, the inner child within us expressing. Brother's getting old. Brother needs some young. Brother getting old. Brother needs some young. Need one of them straps to get them tits up there. Brother needs now. Brother needs. So anyway, I popped it up, and it backdated to April the 11th. But I also put in the affidavits, they owe me back pay ever since the claim was first put in 12/21, December the 21st, which was the Mayan calendar day. That's when the claim went in. And I didn't even realize it was Mayan calendar day. It's just coincidence. I said, oh, fuck, what the fuck is going on here? So they owe me $4,000 a month for year 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Back pay. It's $4,000 a month. What's 4,000 times 12? That's $4,800. We'll just call it $50,000 times 9. What's $50,000 times 9? We'll just call it 10. Is that $500,000? Yeah. And they got $500,000 in the treasury is a spit in the wind, because there's an unlimited amount in there. $252 trillion stimulus, 6,000 stimulus bill is a spit in the wind. They might call it a bill. I don't call it a bill. I call it Nasara. See, when we start calling things the way we see it and what we want it to be, then we start to woman fest, queen fest, the abusive manifest, with the children fest. See what I'm saying? So we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens, folks. I've been at this since 2008. And I remember the first book that opened up the eyes, and that was Mary Elizabeth Croft on the internet out of Canada. With that fucking dude fucking in Canada. There's this guy in Canada. But then I got on to Long. He's African black brother with Reese. I learned all kind of shit from that brother. And from his radio, fucking internet radio programs. And then there was Greg Gentry and all the guests he had. And then there's fucking Gordon Hall and Brandon Adams and Jack Smith. And then there, last but not least, and the best of all, and the best, was and still is, Winston motherfucking Shroud. That brother. That brother told me, he said, on the ride back home, he says, hey man, he was giving me a hint. He says, hey, you might want to stop down to the local truck stop down there and give me a hint to pick up a honey. you know, that's just the way he is. That's just the way he was, you know. He might not like me saying that, but, it's been said. I felt it needed to be said. It's not a big deal. I mean, shit. It's not against the law to pick up a honey. It might be against your Bible, against a fake media Bible church moral statute and code, called a crime, to pick up a honey. Pick up a honey at the truck stop. I never did though, but I just wanted to get home because it was fucking 250 mile fucking drive. Fuck. Just get me to fuck home, man. Not 250, I think like 150. Probably more like 150. Maybe 100. I think it was a couple hour drive. Yeah, probably a couple hour drive, yeah. 2 hour drive, yeah. That would be 100 miles. 50 miles per hour. So, anyway, with the whack and the jacko. So, we shall see. Now, Winston told me, we were talking, or he was mainly talking. He brought up 1099 for some reason, and he says, I don't recommend that. He says, people were getting in trouble for that, and he said, this is what he told me. He says, I would something to the effect. He says, put it in a trust, put the money in the trust, and then get the money out. People were getting in trouble because they were just using the check straight out. But who knows? I mean, that's just what he says. But so I consider that. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if I get some money from the employment office through that claim that I put in, my gut feelings tell me just to cash the fucking check. Just cash it. But I could, if I want to, I could go to the bank and make a trust. And I probably want to ask for a private trust. So I learned that shit from Jared Rand. So I'd have to re-listen to Jared Rand again. But he says, yeah, with the RV, the currency reset, he says, humanitarian efforts, he says, charter accounts through a private account. Say you ask for a charter private account, something like that. So don't quote me, but don't be stupid. You should know how that your labor and your input and your experience and your knowledge for you, no matter what anybody fucking says. You know what I'm saying? So I shouldn't even have to say that, but there's some folk out there that need to have that said, because they'll just run with anything anyone says, and then they'll shoot themselves right in the foot. Fucking hopping down the street on one leg, man. In front of everybody in public. But, so anyway, so here we have all this 4,000 through the employment office, the corona thing, all this came down, and as soon as Winston Shrout got captured last month, so to speak. We don't know if he got captured. That's just a story. It could all be a story. We don't know. And we don't even know if Winston's a clone. I even told him to his face. I said, you could be a clone, brother. And he assured me, I'm no clone. But, anyone can say, clone can say anything. Robot controlled. I could be a clone. You don't know who I am. I could be a clone. I could be robot controlled, federally, MK Ultra, robot controlled. All kind of stuff to manipulate you. I don't know you. You don't know me from hell in a handbasket. I don't know you from hell in a handbasket. Isn't that real? Why continue with this fucking artificial, abusive fantasy? Nothing wrong with the artificial, but we're abusing it as though we know each other. Oh, yeah, I know you. Bullshit, man. I could be the fucking most fucking skillful Jesuit, fourth foul blood motherfucker infiltrator you ever fucking imagined. Couldn't I? Just as you could be. Couldn't you? That's why I don't trust nobody. No fucking one. Everything that I've accomplished pretty much is accomplished through the self. Although I had a lot of input from Mother, Matriarch Mother, Sharon Ray Henry.